God damn, we were 15 minutes late because I stayed up all night and lost track of time because I started playing 2K and I'm in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. But how you doing today? Jackson over here being the good old man, making sure I stayed on time. How you doing today, buddy?
Great. I got all excited because you didn't say anything, so I cozied up back with my warm blanket,
You got a
and
heated one?
then the time just went by a little too long. Where's where's
Uh,
this guy at?
I know. I'm sorry for giving you false hope of a day off, but we got a packed show tonight that, the thing is I was able to watch some NBA
Tight.
at the end of my shift and, Scottie Barnes played well. The Celtics showed that they can win ugly basketball games, the games that matter in the playoffs. And not only that, Jaden McDaniels looks like a freaking stud. Kyle Kuzma says he loves playing with Bradley Beal and Porzingis. Chicago Bulls, are they turning around their season, or at least is Nikola Vucevic back to being a god? And then the Phoenix Suns, holy shit. What are your thoughts? Did you watch any games last night, buddy boy?
Yeah, I loved the 3 o'clock pregame. Killian Hayes with the certified hood shitter.
Dude, he did terrible. He did terrible. He was trending for, I didn't see that game, but I thought he played well because I saw that he was trending. And then when I went and actually saw the game, I was like, oh, oof. Oof.
Yeah, he kept us in that one all day. Made it a little bit easier on Lavin and Damar. So I'm not complaining. The scoreboard was messed up the entire game.
Really?
Yeah, the entire game, pretty much. No one knew 100% what the score was at halftime.
That's actually quite terrible.
Yeah.
Give me one
But it
second.
was funny, dude. I was watching on League Pass, obviously, and we're talking Bulls. I'll talk it when we talk Bulls.
No, you want to talk Bulls first? Let's talk Bulls first, you pussy.
Well, this
Continue.
partisan did you know how you do there's like games on, and when you're watching it on League Pass rather than like Stream East or cable, they kind of show you like the festivities that go on midway through the quarters.
Yeah.
This French partisan does this game, and it's after the first time out of the game, and he's blah blah blah, and it's just about over. And his last shot, it was funny because he like blatantly didn't follow like the rule, and he did something. He took a shot from like a unmarked location, which was weird, and then he turns around and does a backflip. So
What?
it's just kind of cool.
That sounds so random. But okay, so what do you think of the Chicago Bulls? Tell the audience your thoughts, and I'm gonna be right back as I grab my coffee.
Oui,
monsieur.
Well, I had a great joke for Cyro, and now I gotta wait. So, the Chicago Bulls. What's up, Bruno? Good morning to you, or good afternoon to you, actually. But yeah, dude, the Chicago Bulls. It's a Detroit Pistons, so I'm not sure what stock to put into this one. It is nice having one game this week, though. Just let everyone. I know Damar missed the last 3 games prior to this one, so it's nice just getting him healthy and good to go today or yesterday in Paris. And yeah, man, we're coming off a win against Golden State Warriors, first time since 2017, and a great, convincing, significant victory yesterday against the Detroit Pistons, Basu, and I couldn't be happier. We're in the play-in tournament.
Do you think this is a team? I don't know what you said, but do you think this is a team that can be? I don't want to say the Boston Celtics of this season because that's such a tall order. But can this team at least be a 6th seed this season?
I guess so. I don't feel great about that, but I suppose that's possible.
I mean, what are you a non-believer?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're 21 and 24.
I mean, I thought you were a Bulls fan, buddy.
Yeah, I'm a Chicago croissant fan, but I'm also
A realist.
yeah.
I just think Chicago, like Pat Will, kind of took a jump now. Finally, that he's not hurt.
So one of my buddies said the same. One of my buddies texted me the other day. He was like, "Pat Will is legit." And I'm seeing this like, okay, he's clearly kidding because it's not showing up on the stat sheet with Pat Will, and he wasn't kidding, and I loved
He's
it.
averaging 12 a night now.
I mean, that's not. That's not like anything crazy though.
If you look on it, he's more impactful on the floor.
I'm just not anticipating non-Bulls fans, non-Bulls watchers to be able to pick up on Patrick Williams' new leap as far as just being able to get a bucket goes. But he can just go kind of get a bucket now, and he looks a lot. He's always been a good shooter, so he's always.
Yeah, no, he's playing with a bunch more confidence.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is Kobe White's playing pretty well. Caruso's playing well. Dragic. They have this good four-man rotation of Derek Jones, Dragic, Caruso, and White. Supposedly Caruso's the only untouchable player on the roster in a report that came out the other day. And for me, when I look at this situation, I just think – I mean, I still think it's unbelievable that Andre Drummond isn't playing, but I just guess he doesn't fit this team, and Nikola Vucevic is just killing shit. But – Do you think this team, obviously, I think at the very least they make the play-in, but do you think they, again, you didn't answer the question, can they be the 6th seed at least?
I did, and I said I guess.
That's not really a response.
Anything's possible, supposedly. Yeah, you have DeMar and Lavin and Vooch. Vooch has done a really good job. He dropped, 44 against Golden State?
So, yeah. It was freaking insane. He was inhaling every board that came in his vicinity. It was beautiful.
I am a fan of Lonzo Ball, and I believe he will return this year. And I believe if that does happen, we'll be the 6th seed at worst.
I think, at worst to the 6th seed. I think they can I don't know, man. I think this is a team that it's all about gelling together and health. I mean, honestly, I think if Lonzo Ball does come back, like by the All-Star break or after the All-Star break, that's going to be huge just because we saw how good they were with Lonzo. But
yeah, I'm not seeing anything good about it ever.
I just have faith. So I think this team's showing that they can play defense and their stars are playing like what their contract says they're worth. The Toronto Raptors have a man named Scottie Barnes. And did you know Scottie Barnes is out here averaging 19 points and 19.5 points, okay? 5 rebounds.
On the year?
No, for January.
Oh, okay.
My apology. For January, he's averaging right now 19.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists with like a block and a steal a night. Yes, the three-point shot is still a bit of an eyesore, but the man is shooting 51.5% from the field through these 10 games. Okay. My apologies. He's grabbing 8 rebounds, dishing out 5 assists, 1.5 blocks, 1.5 steals, only turning over the ball 1.5 times, a little under 3 fouls a night in 36 minutes. I think Scottie Barnes has broken out of the sophomore slump.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever in a sophomore slump, but I think he's averaging 25 in his last 5 or something around there.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Twitter last night.
Yeah,
that it was something like that.
It's beautiful.
I think the only slump is his shot. His shot regressed from 3-point, and I don't think it's a confidence thing because he's honestly, as the season has gone on, he's taken less and less threes. He started at 4 threes, now he's taking under 2 threes a night. But I think when you look at Scottie Barnes, he's going back to basics. What am I good at? I'm good at grabbing rebounds. I'm good at ball handling and pushing the ball up court, getting downhill and attacking the basket. So I think we're just seeing a guy in Scottie starting to take what the defense is giving him. If they're going to give him all this space because they're daring him to shoot, he's just going to use that as a runway to get to the basket. And this is a guy who right now is shooting on 2-point shots 51% on the season, compared to last year, 54%. But I'm trying to see if I can get for the month of January what he's shooting at 2%. And if you just give me a second, but what are your thoughts as I find this information?
Well, he wasn't a good 3-point shooter last year. He's barely even. It was a Chicago Croissant. He'd even bat night. Sky Barnes, like, he's not a good 3-point shooter. To me, that's, what would unlock him into being a 20-point per game scorer. But he's been a lot more aggressive in the last 5 games and in the month of January. And Toronto really needs it because, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to win a championship if Siakam and Fred are their best 2 players. So this is a leap they need from Scottie, and we'll see if he can do it for the entirety of the season. I like his improved assist numbers, around 5 on the year. I think that's a great sign. And my boy OG, kind of the odd man out right now, 4th option. So it's fascinating. Freddie's been picking it up too. It's Scottie's leading the way, but it's not translating to wins.
Yeah, no, I get that. And Scottie, I found the number. Shout out StatMuse. Scottie's still shooting 51% on 2-point shots for the month of January. But this is fuck them. Fuck them. This was last year. Let me do 2023. Okay. So far, he has attempted 136 field goals in the month of January. Take 17 away from that. That is 119 for made. So he's made 66 on 119 attempts of 2-point shots. And if we do some quick math right there, that's a 55.4% 2-point percentage in the month of January. I just think we're going back to basic. We're seeing a guy right now, like I said, he's out here also getting to the free throw line like 7 times a night. And that's the thing. I have confidence in Scottie Barnes finding a 3-point shot because he's like a career 75% 3-point shooter. As long as you're above 70% free throw shot and you have a decent looking form, I think you'll figure it out with just repetition. Any closing arguments?
He's gone from field goal percent from short 3 from 40% last year to just 29% this year. Shooting 32% from 16 and deeper. And last year he shot 38%. It's pretty surprising to me how solid his advanced shooting metrics were from downtown last year.
No, I agree. That's why I just think that's why I said he had a sophomore slump that he's breaking out of. It's just like he's becoming more efficient, improving his efficiency, which was down compared to his rookie season.
Yeah.
So let's pivot and let's talk about a fun team that might be the best team in the NBA. Alrighty. And this team's on an 8-game win streak. This team has Al Horford freaking being their most efficient scorer. But this was a game that I said is a preview. I mean, it really could end up being Golden State Warriors versus the Celtics again. It's wide open. But what I say right here is playoff basketball is ugly. And this game was a preview of what playoff basketball is. At the end of the day, Jason Tatum had a great game despite the shooting splits. He put the team on his back. He didn't let that his shots weren't falling. He just kept going. He had Jaylen Brown hit the buzzer beater and to force overtime. I think you're seeing a team right here in the Boston Celtics that they can win in pretty games and in the ugliest of them. And this was, it's against the Warriors. So what? This is a team that's given them trouble for the past year and a half. Thoughts?
I guess. I mean, good win on the Celtics. Nice comeback. But at the same time, like, Jaylen just got back. Steph just got back. Both teams are missing some guys. I don't know. I think, to me, what I took from it wasn't even that anything about the Boston Celtics. I think it was more so, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. But I think that was pretty clear. They're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NBA. But I think what I gathered from this was good luck beating Golden State in 4 to any team.
I have the counter argument. Name a team that can beat the Boston Celtics in 7 games.
I have it. The Golden State Warriors.
Okay, you're just a dick riding Golden State Warriors fan who's not even from Golden State.
Yeah, no. Good luck beating the Dubs in 4 straight times.
I mean, if
I wish Boston.
If we were betting house money right now, right, who would make it to the NBA Finals?
I'll throw $5 on it.
I'd throw 100 that the Celtics go farther in the playoffs than the Warriors.
It's a little too high for me, but I'd bump my bet up to 10.
You're soft, man.
I'm not a big sports bettor.
You're Charmin soft, bro. I just look, you got a team that has the number 1 offense in basketball for a majority of the season. And I just think this is a team that their 8-game win streak right now, they're technically second in offensive rating, but they're 8th in defensive rating. Everyone was like, oh, the defense is so bad this year. Dude, Robert Williams comes back. Everyone's playing defense. They're number 1 in net rating. Okay. They score the 2nd most points in the league, and they give up the 10th best, 10th least amount of points. I don't even know how you fucking phrase that. But in a rotation that, look, this is a team that all they do, hit you with the 3-point ball, or they finish inside, okay? And that's what she said. But I just think this is just, when you look at this team, you got Jason Tatum, 30 points, 27 a night from Jaylen Brown. No one talking about Jaylen Brown averaging 27 a night, okay? Then you got right there. Last night we saw a lineup of Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Malcolm Brogdon close the game. And you know why that was huge? Because last year in the finals, when Marcus Smart wasn't having a good game, and especially when Derek White wasn't having a good game, those were the games that the Celtics lost. The games that the Celtics won in the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors were when Derek White was having a good shooting night. Tonight, last night, Derek White was not having a good shooting night. Guess what? This is why they traded for Malcolm Brogdon. They traded for Malcolm Brogdon. So when their players are having a bad night, like Grant Williams was last night, that, his shot wasn't falling, nor was Derek White, that they can go with a lineup of Brogdon, Smart, Jaylen, Jason, and Al Horford. And eventually you'd assume, that'd be a bit more Robert Williams. But I think against the Warriors, they didn't need to play Robert Williams. Horford was getting the job done. You have right there basically 6'5" and above on that whole front. And you have now another shooter who could come in. Yeah, he might have shot under 40% from the field, but he shot like 37% from 3. Malcolm Brogdon was one of the difference makers in this game besides Jason Tatum, sticking it out through a nasty game. I want to hear right now, Luke, who's joined us, his opinion on this bullshit.
Can you guys hear me? Is the mic working? Okay, good. Yeah, Tatum didn't have the best shooting night, even though he scored 34. He didn't have the best shooting night, and that game was fucking ugly. But I did not think we had no business winning that game. They shot less than 30% from 3 in regulation. They couldn't hit a shot. Tatum wasn't making anything. Jaylen Brown had a rough night, and somehow, some way, the Celtics still found a way to win that game against the full-strength Warriors. Somehow.
Not quite.
Oh, wait, who was out? Clay played. Oh,
Bingo.
Yeah. Yeah. Big impact, big miss for
the Warriors. They are. Joke all you want. They are.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the Celtics had no business winning this game. They played like shit for most of the game, but guess what? They still fucking won.
And these are the games I was saying earlier to Jackson, the ugly games. This is a preview of playoff basketball.
They need a win.
Yeah, and you know what? In playoff basketball, the first round might be pretty, but once you start getting that second, third round NBA Finals, you remember that 7-game series against the Heat? That shit is fucking ugly.
Yeah, that was some of the worst basketball I've seen.
You're talking about when Jason Tatum had shot,
but that's playoff
in the finals.
But that's playoff basketball right there. Warriors game. What's up?
So winning ugly basketball games.
I got a question for you.
Do you have any opinions on Tatum's 37% from the field last year finals and scoring 13 points?
He's grown. This is what he showed last year. He was having a terrible shooting night like he did last night, okay? But he wasn't able to overcome it. Tonight, he had a terrible night shooting, but he crashed the boards, okay?
He impacted the game in other ways, which was very important to have. Very important to have it.
7 rebounds and 7 assists in the finals. He kind of did that
19
last year.
Jackson. I got a question. How's Steph Curry's dick taste?
I don't swing that way, but I would imagine his wife is very.
He had 19. He had 19 boards last year. Tatum did.
Like, bro, I don't even like hate the Warriors, but man, like,
I don't know what Steve Kerr was doing going small and going without Kayvon Looney. I don't know.
Jordan Poole. Can we talk about Jordan Poole last night? Jordan Poole was going off.
I don't know if I mean he had his moments, but he was like 2 of 10 or 2 of 11.
I caught this moment in the third quarter where they were like when they had a lead and he like stole the ball, like he scored then stole the ball. There was like 3 possessions in a row where he had like 6 or 8 points. I don't even remember. I was at work and I was
in the library, so I was not watching the game until like the very end of the fourth quarter when we somehow came back.
The Warriors played horribly, but so did the Celtics.
And guess what? The Celtics played like shit and couldn't hit threes to save their life, and they still won the game.
That's playoff basketball. You got to win the ugly games.
I'm not a fan of these narratives, but
I just don't think you agree with the fact that even if
he's a Celtics hater, he's
hater.
He's not going to give.
I am a Celtics hater.
He's not going to give credit.
Who likes the Celtics?
You're not giving credit to the fact. You're not giving credit to the fact that, like Luke said, which I was saying, is the fact that Jason Tatum overcame last year when he was having bad shooting nights. He was defeated. He became basically a non-factor in the games. This time, couldn't hit a shot, still was able to put up points. But not only that, like Luke said, found other ways to impact the game. Defense, passing, especially rebounding with those 19 boards, putbacks, okay? Rebounds demoralize the opposing team. You impose your will. You physically impose that will on them. Demoralizes them. It energizes and revitalizes your guys because you're
I would hope my superstar Jason Tatum, who still contributed to winning type plays with rebounding, defense, and passing the ball, getting steals last year in the finals, and making threes, which is something he did do, although he didn't make a high level amount of efficient shots, but he still made his threes. I would say that yes, I hope my superstars can do that, and more importantly, this one team has Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, and the other team doesn't. And one of those teams,
they have Jason Tatum and they have Jaylen Brown,
and the team
and they have an actual bench.
Wait, Jackson, correct me if I'm wrong. The team that had Draymond Green, Steph, and Klay, did they win the game last night?
Unfortunately, they did not.
Yeah. And they had a lead in the going into the fourth quarter, and they completely choked and blew it. Right? That's what happened.
They did choke the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Okay. That just wanted to make sure that we're talking about the same game. Yeah.
And if Boston gets a ring over Golden State, good luck beating them 4 times in a 7-game series. Like once again, but
we might not have to play them.
I will give the Boston their due credit if they win the NBA Finals, which they won't because the Golden State Warriors still exist. Unfortunately, for Boston, Luke. Sorry. So. It is what it is. But
the Warriors aren't winning the West. They're not even making it out of the West.
I mean, we all know the Denver Nuggets and the Memphis Grizzlies.
We all know
the Denver Nuggets are so easy to beat in the playoffs if your name is Steph. I just want that to be so clear. Okay. And I will create a montage for both of you because
I will be laughing when it's there's no
person on this goddamn
Nuggets versus the Grizzlies.
Who sees that? It happens every year. Steph Curry exposes Nikola Jokic every time.
The Pelicans are winning the West if they're healthy, so it doesn't even matter.
That's fine, and I'll take that over the measly Nikola Jokic-led Denver Nugget, no rim protecting.
Oh, not the Wizards, man.
Okay, so I
don't want to talk about them.
quick little story that came out. Mike Scotto of Hoops Hype had a conversation with Kyle Kuzma, and Kyle Kuzma came out and professed his love for playing with Porzingis and Bradley Beal. He says he really likes playing with them. He actually loves playing with them because it allows him to be a player that he's never been able to be before. And that's because in LA, he was really just kind of like this spot up shooter who had to play defense. Over here, he's now became a creator, but not only just for himself, but for others. And he's arguably an all-star this season. And it comes down to my idea that with more and more time, similar with Jakob Poeltl with the Spurs, but Kyle Kuzma, it seems like Kristaps Porzingis, wants to stay in Washington. He very much likes it there. And everywhere, everybody reporting it basically is beating around the bush or like subliminally implying that he's either going to accept the player option or do an extension or accept player option and then sign an extension. But Kyle Kuzma, it seems like he's going to go into free agency, but he also said he loves Washington, D.C. He loves where he lives. He loves everything about it. And it goes back to the thought that, like, Bradley Beal, when people thought Bradley Beal was going to leave, when Bradley Beal was potentially, didn't want to be there. But Bradley Beal came out right before he signed the contract and he says, you want to be somewhere where you're wanted. Basketball is a cruel business. I'm over here paraphrasing, but that basketball is a cruel business. And it's rare to be somewhere where you're genuinely wanted, where they're accommodating to you, where they want you. That is very, very rare in the NBA. And basically being given the keys of the franchise. And I think Kyle Kuzma is also starting to get that treatment from the Wizards staff, because they're not the super small market team, but they're not the largest ever. They're in the middle of the pack. And Washington, D.C. is a great place to live. It's better than probably a third of the league in terms of cities to live in. And I think with more and more time, I think there might be if they don't trade Kyle Kuzma, it's probably because they spoke with his agent and they're like, hey, let's get a verbal agreement here. You go test unrestricted free agent. See, you come back, you tell us what the best offer is. We'll match it and some. And we're trying, and just tell them, like, we truly believe in the core of you, Porzingis, and Bradley Beal being the faces of the franchise. And the argument for why Kuzma would want this is because name another team where he would be the face of the franchise.
There isn't one.
Oh yeah.
And what's his player option this year? Let me look it up.
$13 million.
Okay, $13 million. Okay, yeah. So obviously he's opting out. There's no question about that.
Sup, Max?
Like, Porzingis is like 35 or 36 or 37, something in that range. So it's more likely that Porzingis doesn't opt out. And then all the Wizards would have to do is just focus on getting Kuzma, keeping him. Which, if they give him a fat contract, I don't know why he wouldn't want to stay, because he's got everything he could want from a basketball perspective in Washington. Now, this core is not going anywhere. This core's not winning anything, but it's not always about.
He already has a ring, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's not always about that for guys.
And the legacy aspect, individual success. And the thing is let's be honest, the Wizards, if you have a core of Bradley Beal, Porzingis, and Kyle Kuzma, that's basically almost 3 All-Stars right there, borderline at least 2 All-Stars and 1 All-NBA player. And Daniel Gafford's not a bad piece, nor is Denny Abdia, nor is Monte Morris, okay, and Corey Kispert. Right there, you got yourself, 7 guys. And the thing is you really think about it, this team's one above average starting level point guard away from being a serious threat. If they could have someone, if I could go poking around the league, like, obviously I think Fred VanVleet would be a great fit for them, even Markelle Fultz, but just a guy who could just be a floor general for them more, but also being able to score. D'Angelo Russell's another example of a player that they should be interested in, as much as some people don't like him. But they have a center in Daniel Gafford who either can start or be a backup for Kristaps, depending on the looks. You got Corey Kispert. You got Denny Abdia being your Swiss Army knife glue guy. You got Corey Kispert being your 3-and-D guy. Not 3-and-D guy, but 3-point. He's above average. He's not that bad of a defender. And then you have Anthony Gales reserve. But I don't think, and if you can get another point guard who's better than Monte Morris, you have a high level, one of the best backup point guards in the game, who could be a really good 6-man candidate. I know Jackson's over here snickering, chuckling at the thought of what I'm saying, because it sounds preposterous in his mind, but
it does. I agree 100% with everything Bruno said. You overpay for Kuzma, make him the face of your franchise. Congratulations, you have 3 non-superstars. I don't think another non-superstar point guard solves what you're looking for, which is a championship. So, yeah.
Hey, Cyro, you were half right. It'll make them a threat to make the first round of the playoffs where they'll get bounced.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, maybe they win a series.
If they get a point guard and a bench, maybe they
can win one. They can win one round of the playoffs and get to the second round. But yeah, like, I'm sorry, I got nothing against these guys, but I don't see how these 3 as your best players is supposed to make you a threat in the Eastern Conference, especially with how many teams are more talented than they are. Like,
give me the Hawks over them.
You guys are mean.
If I'm the Wizards, I would honestly just, I mean, like at this point they got to blow it up, but they're not going to do that. So I guess signing another point guard like a D'Angelo Russell would make them
would be cool.
Make them a first round exit team instead of just missing the playoffs altogether. So
I'll take that.
Positives.
It's better for tanking or failing a tank and trying to get Vic. And then like Washington's the type of team to like get the first pick in a Vic draft and not take it.
That's not That's just you'd have to have Down syndrome and be running a front office. Or be Helen Keller.
Hey, yeah, Luka was not the first overall pick though, so let's not doubt the intelligence.
But that was because at the time Luka Doncic had serious qualms about his athleticism and his fit in the NBA because he was viewed as a wing, not a point guard. Him being a
he was that. But like again, those I'm not saying you're saying that. Those teams are stupid because the dude won MVP of the second most competitive basketball league when he was only 18.
Okay, it's like people who didn't draft Kawhi Leonard because he was quiet and played for San Diego State. We can just sit here and name a bunch of guys who.
I don't think those
are those are not the same. Those are not the same. Those aren't the same.
Tyrese Halliburton.
No, not the same. Not the same. Luka won the MVP of the EuroLeague at 18. Those are not the same. He didn't win MVP of the second most competitive basketball league in the world at 18 when he couldn't legally drink in the United States.
I'll give you Şengün, but let's pivot. I don't want to pivot. I want to Alperen Şengün, right? MVP of his league, but it wasn't the same league that Luka was in.
Yeah, it wasn't the champion.
So many teams like Oklahoma City discredit this guy.
Yeah, it's like Denny Avdia. He won the Israeli league, but it's not like winning the EuroLeague.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's because they're European. I'm just saying. I don't know.
I mean, I made a video this morning about how the EuroLeague wants to bring back preseason EuroLeague NBA matchups in America, and they're having conversations this week in Paris with NBA.
I think they should. That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah. Do you see what's his nuts? This during one of the Real Madrid soccer players got in trouble for being at the NBA Paris game when Real Madrid had a cup match.
That's funny as fuck. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah, Aurelien Tchouameni apologizes for being at Pistons Bulls game during Real Madrid's Spanish Cup match.
Real quick, I don't think Scoot Henderson outside of this year's draft would be anything crazy, and I don't think he would solve.
You're wrong. Scoot Henderson in half of the drafts outside of this draft would be the number one overall pick.
I don't. Think
I'm not even a fan. I'm not even.
No, you're right about that. Like Scoot would be a number one pick if it wasn't for Wemby. So
yeah,
I don't think he's gonna have that crazy
20 years. Half of those drafts,
he might not because he might go through rookie guard struggles on a bad team. But still,
I'm just not sold on Scoot Henderson, a bona fide automatic.
I'm not even a fan of the guy, but like the kid can play.
He's just not Wemby. So
yeah. I understand you have questions about him coming out of the NBA G League Ignite program. That program's fucking shit. But like besides
same with Overtime Elite.
But we've seen multiple guys go out that program and have kind of like a redshirt rookie year at this point and succeed. I mean, we saw Dyson Daniels come out of it and be an impact player. So I mean, there is hope.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad this year. So,
but Jaden McDaniels is arguably making a case to be an all NBA second team defense or all defensive team second team. And for the month of January, he's averaging 13.5 points, a block and a steal a game, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, shooting 51.5% from 3 on about 3.5 attempts a night and 55.4% from the field on 9 attempts a night. And this is a guy, so I got in a nice little Twitter debacle, friendly jousting on the internet, nothing bad. One guy just said Jaden McDaniels is going to get $100 million contract next season, and
your audio's crapping out.
Yeah, it was because I had an ad started playing in my head or my ear set, but because I had a link open, and so Jaden McDaniels is a guy that this guy said was going to get $100 million contract next year. And I said, let's hold the door. Do I think he can get there? Do I think Jaden McDaniels can become a longer, better, more athletic version of Jeremy Grant? Yes, I think he could follow very similar, developments as Jeremy Grant, where maybe this next contract he signs a 4-year deal similar to like Kyle Kuzma or what Grant Williams is going to get offered, $14 to $18 million, give it for 4 years, basically like a 4-year, what are we saying right here? $56 million to $72 million deal, and over 4 years. And then if he proves his worth there, and you put it kind of like partially guaranteed over the years, so that like you have a exit plan if shit fails. But I could see that his third contract being because if he does a 4-year deal, I believe he'll only be like 25, 26 by that point. Then I could see him being like a max contract guy, developing into a all-star version of Jeremy Grant, a guy who could, be someone who guards every single position, and a guy who can be the second option on a contending team, arguably. I don't know if you guys see that with Jaden McDaniels. I just think
his rebounding is not good. Is not where it needs to be considered.
But he's
Jeremy Grant. Like
he's a small forward. He's a small forward.
I know, but that doesn't. But like you're a 6'9" small forward with a 7-foot wingspan. You're averaging less than 4 rebounds a game. Like, come on, man. Like, I know you're not. Your job isn't to get rebounds all the time.
Jeremy Grant averages 4.
But like you expect more out of Jalen McDaniels. At least I am. I want to see that. Like, why is it like Tatum is shorter than both of them and is a way better rebound than both of them? Obviously, like I'm not saying they have to be Tatum, but like
the Tatum and McDaniels are the same height.
Tatum's 6'8".
McDaniels 6'9". I mean, McDaniels is
shorter,
same amount of rebounds as Jeremy Grant, basically.
Less than, like I said, less than Tatum, and I would like to see him get more. But
Jason Tatum's an MVP candidate. I'm not sitting here saying Jaden McDaniels.
I wasn't
saying Jaden McDaniels can be like somebody who can compete with OG Anunoby as the best perimeter defender. Jackson, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he definitely needs more than 4 rebounds a game, unfortunately. But it's fine. He's in his 3rd year. I think $100 million is quite ridiculous. I don't need him to go snag, especially on Minnesota. I don't need to go snag more than 4 right now. But like 8 years from now, it would be nice. I don't have quite the same. I think he, maybe I guess he could be a max guy. He's 4 years down the road. Every year, he's a great 3-point shooter. He can defend at a high level. But yeah, I don't think that'll happen. $100 million this offseason. So, but I do like his career outlook. I think he's probably extremely underrated across the league.
If he keeps improving like he has every year, then maybe his 3rd contract is $100 million. But like, I definitely wouldn't pay it. I definitely wouldn't give him that big of a contract.
It's not too early for beer. Bruno, drink that
Friday.
Beer. It's Friday. But no, I understand what you guys are saying. And I think we're all in agreement that he's not yet a $100 million contract, but I think you can get similar money to like a little bit more than Jayshawn Tate, but similar to Grant Williams in that like 14 to 18. Do you guys agree with that a year?
Potentially.
As his like second deal. But let's talk our final topic. And I know you guys hate the Phoenix Suns, and we're not going to – Phoenix Suns got a win last night. And it's really – you guys don't be assholes. This man didn't play. This guy suffered a torn meniscus.
Oh.
And he hasn't played since November 4th. And this was his first game back, scored 19 points, played like he hadn't missed a fucking game. Again, I know you two are people who love to slander the Suns, but I want to get your honest opinions of Cam Johnson. If you guys saw what he was doing out there, I think this is something that they've been missing. And the fact that he came back from a torn meniscus and then first game, there wasn't any, rust on the jump shot. It's kind of nice to see. Thoughts, boys?
Good for the Suns. I mean, they need to win these types of games, and they were able to get it done against a Nets team that didn't have Kevin Durant, but still had Kyrie and all the other
Which
guys.
has the worst offensive efficiency in the whole entire league since Kevin Durant got hurt.
The Nets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that bad, but yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, good for Cam Johnson to come back, and the jumper was falling last night. Ayton had a good game last night. Mikal Bridges had an amazing game last night. Those types of guys like Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges are gonna have to step up and play well in the absence of Booker and Paul if this Suns team wants to hang in the playoffs. So, like, last night was definitely a positive sign for them. I'm not going to shit on them for last night because I think it's a chance to have a step in the right direction for them. But I'm not going to say they're fixed just yet because it's one game. But good for the Suns.
I'll shit on them. Mikal Bridges did a great job. So I'll give him that for sure last night. But unfortunately, Mikal Bridges isn't a 28-point-per-game scorer. And Cam Johnson, I actually don't think he had a good shooting night one bit.
He was 4 of 10, which isn't terrible.
That's 40%.
He was 2 of 6 from 3, and he made all his free throws. He was like 8 of 8 from the line. So like he had a good game.
33% from 3, 33% from 3, 40% from the field. Yeah, so you just find reasons to hate.
Any superstar shot 40% from the field. Any player who shot 40% from the field is not going to be considered a good shooting player.
Both those
just want that to be abundantly clear. My point is a 13-point per game Cam Johnson does not fix anything about the Phoenix Suns.
I'm not saying it's fixed. It's just going to give the ship some help.
They can have the 6th seed. Congrats.
All they need is a seed. Baby.
Yeah, they just got to make it, man. They're a half game out of the play-in right now. They just got to get in. They just got to make it.
From the wise words of Jimmy Butler, we just need a seed. We just need to make it into the playoff. Don't matter what seed. We just need to make it to the playoffs.
Both teams fucking sucked last night at the free throw line in that game. Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was a tough watch.
So let's put on something that we like to do for the end of the episodes. And that is a little game we call Purtle. My voice cracked right there. Let's get right into it. What are your guys' guess right here?
Caleb Martin.
Wasn't it? No.
27, though. Maybe try his brother.
He's in the West.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the West, yeah. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Wow. Already.
The only reason I guessed that is because the same shape and head said 27. I thought of West. I was like, no, because Josh Hart was a 4-year college player. And
yeah, he was.
And Josh Hart, this is what gave it away to me. He was in the West. He was shorter than 6'5", and he was 27 years old. And my guess was, I was just putting Josh Hart because my next guess was Josh Hart or Keon Johnson, I was thinking. And then I was going to move on to, Terrence Mann or, Brandon Boston.
One day it'll be Terrence Mann or Brandon Boston or the Keon Johnson. One day it'll be Keon Johnson. Josh Hart's kind of pissing me off, though. These Blazers got to figure something out.
Yeah, the Blazers are like a bipolar team. One week they fucking look solid.
They look really good, man.
They haven't improved in 3 months.
They're just treading water. They're just treading water. I'm starting to get scared.
We all thought it was Damian Lillard just needed to come back, and they played decent when Damian and Lillard was out, and then Dame comes back. And
I called them a 50-win team. Man.
Yeah, so we did. I mean, it's not as bad as our Clippers. We look like idiots. I championed the Clippers as my guaranteed contenders.
I had them. And then
lock. It was I was conference finals Clippers, power rankings Clippers all off season. I look like the biggest schmutz. I'm a fucking schmuck after that.
Yeah,
I still think they're gonna be fine.
I mean, if their guys are healthy and playing and having playoffs, they're just giving themselves a harder road to get to the finals. But
yeah, Kawhi does look good though.
That is that. Yeah, but you know what?
Just give me my comment.
I think if I'm the Clippers, I'm blowing it up after this season if I don't win a championship.
Oh.
Potentially. I mean, they
guys, it's been 4 fucking seasons.
They have nothing to show for it.
It's been 4 years.
They have a blown 3-1. They have a conference finals appearance without Kawhi. They have a blown 3-1 lead against the Nuggets. I mean, they got that much, but that's about all they have.
Yeah, so
Maybe the Clippers just say fuck it and blow it up, but I don't think Steve Ballmer will let that happen.
All right, yeah, and they probably want this team so when they move to Anaheim, they're not the rebuilding Clippers.
LeBron to Clippers.
Nah, dude, the Clippers have horrendous jerseys.
The Clippers will always be little brother no matter how hard they try.
Yeah,
they can win a title and still be little brother. It doesn't matter.
I'm willing to bet $50 that when the Clippers move to Anaheim, they rebrand like the Ducks did and
become the Anaheim Clippers.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
They should. There's no reason they shouldn't. Like, it's better for their branding and not be known as little brother.
Yeah, and it's just it's worth it. You know what I mean? It makes the most sense, and it's like it's not like an outrageous rebrand. It's like, oh, you're just changing the city name. Like you can.
Remember when the Angels rebranded and they were the Anaheim Angels, and then they became the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim? I hope the Clippers don't do that.
That'd be fucking awful. That'd be a mouthful.
Yeah, Los Angeles Clippers of Anaheim. Oh, they better not fucking do that shit.
That is bad.
Any closing arguments, boys? Till I talk to you guys on Monday.
Dubs go farther than Celtics. Good night.
Dubs are not going farther than the Celtics.
Jackson's being kicked from the chat.
Pelicans are still winning the West.
When
they're healthy, the Pelicans are still winning. So
no, it's the Nuggets and the Memphis
I'd take the Grizzlies over all those teams. Yeah, there we go.
Nuggets and the Grizzlies, babies, in the conference finals.
Looking good.
All
Give me the Lakers.
And the Wizards should blow it up.
I hope you guys do have a great weekend. I hope you guys did enjoy your week. Be a friend and tell a friend if you guys did enjoy today's show. And hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out Luke. Shout out Jackson. Both of you are beautiful people. Love talking to y'all. Have a good weekend. Cheers, buddy boys.
Take it easy.
You too.